Hi, I'm Sherry from A Quilting Life, and today I have another simple video tutorial for you. And today we're going to talk about chain piecing. Chain piecing is a great technique to save thread, to save time, and to make sure that your pieces stay in the position that you want them to be. I love making 9-patches and use chain piecing for all of my 9-patch sewing. And so let me explain what this is for those of you who might be new to the quilting world. So let me just demonstrate this chain piecing with a simple 9-patch block. A lot of times when I first started sewing, I would sew all the blocks together in one row. So I'd sew the red to the yellow to the green, and then I'd sew the blue to the peach to the gray, and the gray to the navy to the blue. And that would necessitate sewing one short seam, trimming the seam, putting it back under the sewing machine, sewing another seam, trimming, wasting thread and wasting time. So what I do now is I chain piece, and to do that I line up the first 3 pieces that I'm going to sew, put them right sides together, and what I can do is I can start sewing my 1/4 inch seam, and without pulling it out of the machine I can continue to sew this one and continue to sew this one. So let me run and do that and I'll show you what we get. Okay, so I went over to the machine and I sewed these all together. You can tell they're still all in one piece, and I'm going to leave them all in one piece for my next step. I'm going to open them up, I'm not going to press, I'm not going to trim those threads, and I'm going to place the next square that needs to be sewn right on top. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm going to sew these together. And you can do block after block after block and have them all sewn together. Okay, so after I've done that, I've got one already finished. And so then you can tell that I've got the whole 9-patch block together. It's all in one piece. I haven't pressed it yet. At this point, I can take it over to the ironing board and I can press all of the different rows, and I don't even have to trim those threads if I don't want to. I usually do just because I don't like to have them there, but I wait until after I've pressed the rows. Okay, so I've got it done here. I've taken it over to the ironing board. I've ironed. You can tell that I ironed the rows in opposite directions. That's so that the seams will nest when I go to sew the rows together, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. Okay, so now I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to trim. And now I'm ready to sew these rows together to make my 9-patch. And because of the way I pressed it, I will be able to nest these seams. And by nest I mean you just butt them up right next to each other so you can kind of feel that it's smooth where they meet. And I'll go over to the machine, I'll sew this seam, I'll bring it back, I'll be able to nest these in the same way and sew that seam, and that's how you make a 9-patch with nested seams and use chain piecing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little chain piecing tutorial. You can use it for not just 9-patch blocks, but for all your quilting. It saves time and it saves thread. I'll be back soon with more video tutorials, and you can also find the rest of my video tutorials by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much.